Blog Talk Radio.
Hey guys, this is Those Guys with your host Matt Marrero along with the other host
Tristan Walter.
And Tristan, today's the day. We're back at it. We're doing
Guess
it again.
What's back?
Dragon Ball Super on Anna Saturday. Okay, so here's what's really funny, right? I was just really disappointed with Tristan because so far I feel like the arc has been disappointing. We're doing 77 to 84, by the way. So some of you might be thinking, you just said it's disappointing. Why are you happy? Because honestly, as much as I like Samurai Jack, that was a lot of one show to do in a row. And of course, we even had we've had some weeks where we couldn't do Anna Saturday. But then the next week, because I knew Samurai Jack season 5 was coming out on Adult Swim, we still had to do Samurai Jack. So I didn't hate Samurai Jack, but it's obviously not new Dragon Ball Super. So, I'm sitting there going, I'm really liking this, but I haven't watched any Super since we last did it because I try to make sure to get a clean watch, not having to watch it 2-3 times so I can just form my opinion in the moment before we record the show. So right now, and I'm sure many of you who have been listening for a long time know this, but some of you that don't, that's what I do. So I was very excited about this multi-universal arc. I don't remember the exact name of the arc. I'll look it up in a second. But I was really excited about the idea of now a multi-universal arc. However, there are some things that I'm not excited about when watching it. But before I talk about my feelings on it, I want to hand it over to Tristan, because I always talk for a very long time on these shows. So I want to hand it over to Tristan. Tristan, how do you feel about these last, 8 episodes? 77 to 84, 8 episodes?
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you feel?
I figured I was just, the Kaioshin at this point, and I just stand here and look regal while you do your thing. Oh, wait. Well, I'd say Whis, but then I'd be more humorous than I really am. But anyway.
I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear that, I guess. I don't know.
I was going to make the joke like I would be Whis standing in the background while you, the God Destruction, is up at front making all, doing all the stuff. But
I was going to say that too, but then I was like, no, you're not Whis. You're more of Yeah, honestly, I'm not saying this based on your looks. I'm just saying this based on the way you act. If I'm Beerus, you're Champa.
If anything, I would have said you're more Whis, and I would be Beerus. But
or that too. No, I just imagine myself being like, oh, this is so, I'm not a big fan of this. And you're just like, yeah, well, you know what? Let me tell you about it. Like screaming in the background. That's how I look at you. Screaming in the background. No, but in all seriousness.
Yeah, good.
I want to hear.
That's what I'm here for, isn't it? It's very, very jarring for me. Because I'm excited.
In what sense?
I'm excited for another tournament, and this one looks like it's going to be a bit different than our standard tournaments have been in the Dragon Ball universe. So that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But as I've mentioned before, just the direction that Goku's character is going in. It's just getting harder and harder to root for my favorite hero when he's not acting like one. And there are plenty of people who argue, well, he's not meant to be the hero. It's like, yes, but when I grew up watching this series, Goku was the hero.
I disagree. I disagree with your. Okay, I disagree with you, and yet I somehow disagree with everyone else too. I don't know how that happened. Here's the thing. I'm going to give you about at least up to, if not 100, maybe at least 90%. I'm going to give you most of the fact that Goku's reaction to a lot of things isn't good. However, because of the plot, and you can say it's a cop-out because I might put that out there, or not a cop-out, but at least a way to make Goku look better, but not in a way that makes sense, more in the writers want to make him look better. It's hard to explain. What I'm referring to specifically, right? And it's fine. It's hard to explain on a podcast. What I'm referring to specifically is the idea that Goku's just like, yeah, no, I asked. And then it's like, oh, and we will destroy all the universes. And then they're like, damn it, Goku, if you didn't ask. And they're like, oh, no, we were going to anyway. Just him asking made it so that one of you wouldn't be destroyed. It felt like that was a way to try to write around to make Goku still look like a good guy. Because it's not Goku's fault then. And it never was going to be Goku's fault. In fact, he may have just saved his universe. Or all of them, because I assume by the end, none of them are going to be destroyed. Because Goku's going to win the hearts of both King of Alls or both Zenos. They're going to be like, you know what? We shouldn't do this. We should just let you guys fight all the time. Like, we'll do this once a year or some shit like that. Like, why would we stop, having fun? I assume that's what's going to happen by the time this is all over. But
I kind of hope so.
Well, even it's funny. Just Super immediately takes a turn into like Dragon Ball Super Z. Immediately gets fucking dark. King of All is going to get a brother from a distant universe. It's going to turn into Super Z.
I mean, I would have figured that the King of All from the future is like, well, my universe is void of any life, so, like, he's going to be the evil twin out of the two.
Oh, no. No. What it is, no, he's the nicer one. So it's going to in a way, he's the nicer one. So what's going to happen is we're going to have, like, a Raditz from another universe come in, and then he's going to kidnap the future King of All after kicking present one in the stomach. And everyone's going to be like, what the fuck is happening? Oh, my God. And then the King of All will fight a kinglier All.
For that one, huh?
It's really fucking stupid. Anyway,
Matt's just
here's the
fuck
thing,
everything.
Right?
I'm jumping off the diving board and taking this train right off the fucking rails.
But that's what Super did when they literally said, here's a future King of All, and we're going to put them together, and we're going to focus on them a few episodes after we just fucking did this. Like, if that's not doubling down, I don't fucking know what is. Like, Super, in terms of, like, trying to have a coherent timeline with time travel, they didn't just, and I know we complained about this last time, but, like, it transitioned into this arc perfectly. They didn't just jump off of the diving board. They did it into a fucking lake of fire. It is insane. Anyway, I don't know. I don't feel like Goku's less of a hero. I think they sadly are writing him a bit too much like an idiot. I'll give you that. However, I feel like this is just the Goku we never get to see because we don't really get to see Goku in peacetime. He's either alive and fighting or he's dead. And at this point, because he's a god, it's very hard for him to not, like, it's very hard for him to be like, oh no, what's going to happen? It's just like, no, like, it's one of those situations where you're like, come on, Goku, at least be nervous. It's like, but why would Goku be nervous? Because he'll lose? Like, I can't really, like.
I mean, it's the sense that Goku can't find a challenge on Earth anymore, or, I mean, you could argue in his universe, now that he's become a god, aside from Vegeta, who's still also a god, but, fuck that, whatever. But the fact that he's going in such, like, yes, he is a god now, so, like, he's looking for different challenges, he's looking for excitement in his own life. But it's just, it's so jarring for me because all of his other friends, I mean, fuck, Vegeta included, is kind of finally settling into peacetime and are finally like, you know what? I'm going to have a family. Gohan, Krillin, Vegeta, and they're all happy. It's like, it just feels for me Goku throwing all of them into this tournament. Like, it's like, I'm doing this for my excitement. Unfortunately, it's like, yes, and I'd be completely fine with that if you weren't dragging everybody else's well-being. Like, granted, yes, he didn't do it specifically himself, so that's not his fault. But the fact that he's like, there isn't even an instance where he's like worried in the slightest. Like, if you look back, at least in the Cell games, he was like, look, guys, I don't know if I can beat Cell. I have a feeling that Gohan will still be able to do it, even if I can't, and I'm still going to give it a try. But he still was giving off that air. He was, yes, Gohan saved everybody, but
so then it shows him that clearly it happened once, it can happen again. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that anytime Goku is like, here's my theory, it's been proven correct. So I'm not saying he should be cocky. I'm just saying that the natural progression is, if you, Tristan, were like, I'm going to invest my money into this, and then it paid you out $1 million, and you're like, I'm going to invest my $1 million, and then it paid you out $10 million or $100 million. You're like, I'm going to invest it, and then you came out with $1 billion. Eventually, you're going to be like, okay, I clearly can't fucking go wrong here.
Well, my point though is that he doesn't even look at them and say, you know, just a nod to them to like either reassure them or at least say, well, shit, I'm sorry, guys, I didn't know these would be the terms. Like, nothing.
True. Very true.
Because even,
very true.
Says when he confides in Gohan, like, look, everything's going to get erased if we don't win this. He's like, Dad, what the fuck? Why?
Yeah. He doesn't. That's why I said they wrote him more stupid than anything, because he should have said it wasn't my fault. He's just more like, can you help? Because we kind of need it. Like it's like, and it's something that happens in a lot of TV shows where I'm kind of sitting there like, it's not that person's fault. Can we just have a little bit of discussion here? But it definitely is happening more with Goku, where it feels like, something like this happens, and it's not his fault, but then when he's still asking someone, and they're like, really? So, really, Goku? And he doesn't explain, like, hey, like, not that he would be giving excuses, but he'd just be like, yeah, I just kind of wanted to have one just with me and everyone in every other universe. But what had happened was, right? And so it is a little frustrating in that regard.
Yeah,
I
just feel like I end up being more like Beerus, where I'm like shouting at Goku, like, no, you fucking idiot! We're all going to die if you don't get this right! And it's like, yeah, well, if you worry about that now, we will lose. Like, I can't worry about it. It is what it is. I'm going to win.
Yes.
It's like, but it's infuriating.
But that's true, though.
Yeah,
but it's
I know.
Though.
It's no less infuriating, though.
Fair enough. Well, here's the problem, too. I got to be very honest with you, right? So we have to see this not only through Goku's eyes, but even our eyes, to be very, very, like, I don't want to be that fair to Goku, but I kind of have to here, not just because he's the main character, but, like, I kind of have to be fair. Who would have actually thought King of All, Zeno, right, is the official name. Who would have thought that Zeno would have said, yeah, we're going to destroy all these universes if they lose? Like, yes, he's a little kid, and I think I mentioned this to you, maybe I have in an earlier podcast. Kids can, like, especially with, the way shows portray kids, they're either really, really nice or, like, really, really, like, disturbing because they don't understand consequences yet.
Right. Well, that's the thing, like, the allegory that children are supposed to be pure, but unfortunately pure doesn't necessarily mean good either.
Yeah. Vegeta. Oh, I remember. Shut up, Vegeta.
Oh God.
You remember that? Just I don't know what it was in Japanese, to be fair. But if anyone remembers the dub, it was like, oh, I was pure, because they were all like, but you couldn't turn Super Saiyan. Goku said that Super Saiyans have to be pure good. Oh, I was pure
or
evil.
Pure-hearted. Yeah. Right.
Oh yeah, pure-hearted. It's something like that. But pure of heart. That's anyway. It's just really funny because of yeah. Here's the thing, like, so who would have really thought that? Like, Goku truly thought, and so did I. Yeah, tournament. Even though it would be nice if everyone else is involved, it would probably just be Goku. Maybe he wants to bring a few people like Vegeta to be like, come on, let's fight some people. But not that, like, who would have thought a team battle royale? And, like, I wasn't even thinking it was going to be battle royale. I thought we were going to do brackets.
Yeah.
So the fact that it's a team battle, yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting now that they're shaking up the rules a bit for this one.
Which I think is very smart. That's one of the only reasons why I'm happy it's this close to the earlier arc.
Right.
Anyway, the earlier tournament arc. But anyway, while I don't like Goku's reactions, that's why I'm giving you the reactions, right? I'm not a big fan of them. But at the same time,
him trying to get them into, or him trying to get himself into this tournament. He did not in any way think, yeah, the Earth might be destroyed because of this. Because literally, even during that exhibition, he was definitely being rude. But Zeno is his friend, so he's like, yeah, sure, man, whatevs.
Yeah, no, fuck that. Like, I don't, like, Goku and them are pals, so, like, of course he's going to pal around with them. Everybody else is just uptight because it almost feels like all the other gods in the universe are like, no, we have to show him the utmost respect because he can destroy us at the blink of an eye. It's like, all right, it makes sense.
Yes,
but
yes.
did he ever actually ask you guys to be that humble around him?
I still think it's it's a very good it's a good thought though, because like, yeah, one wrong move and he can be like, I don't like you. But clearly Goku with his all I'm trying to say,
Goku,
right? All I'm trying to personally say is that Goku being Goku. But like, just because Goku was his friend in that way, like, you wouldn't expect a friend of yours to be like, when you're like, hey, help me out here. Okay, sure, I'll get you the job interview, thanks. With 8 other people. All right, I mean, as long as you kind of favor me a little bit. Well, I can't necessarily do that, but I still got you the interview, thanks. Also, the winner will get the job, perfect. The losers will die. Excuse me?
Excuse me?
What, I got you the interview. I did not expect this to be part of the interview. I think I'm leaving.
Yeah.
If you choose to leave, you become a loser and you will die. Okay, fucking let's think about this. You're saying like you wouldn't think
thing.
that.
Zeno also pisses me off in this sense too, because I guess it's the idea that there has to be consequences somewhere along these bits, and there has to be an authority figure that can put all these other gods and even Goku in his place, with the idea of, well, if you don't do as I ask, I can destroy you on a whim. But it's like, that's just like, so then what separates Zeno from a tyranny? And that, a whole question of, benevolence from gods or tyranny from gods. But it's like, why, like, if they had given Zeno a reason for, like, look, I kind of need to clean shop. It's cool that you brought up a tournament, and I still got to do this. So let's do it that way. At least then it'll be a little bit fair. But, like, all I remember them saying is like, oh, it's getting a bit crowded. Yeah, there are a lot of universes all of a sudden. I think I'm going to, destroy a few to make room. For what?
No, that's just him being a kid. There is no, you're trying to put logic here. I don't know why you're doing that. There is no logic. He's just a kid that's
that's
like,
what I'm saying.
There's a lot of them, aren't there? Yeah.
At least if that annoys me. At least if they gave him a point to why he needed to do this, or they needed to do this.
No. That's supposed to annoy you.
I know it's a child, Matt, but like.
But that's supposed to annoy you. That's what I'm saying. It's garnering your real reaction. Like, it's like if you were sitting here like, hey, that guy in wrestling is a bad guy and I hate him. I hate him so much. I'm like, good. No, it's not good. I hate him. It's like, no, that's the point. You're not supposed to like Zeno right now. You're supposed to be like, are you fucking kidding me? So, like, I'm not saying it's good. I'm saying it's good plot. Like, okay, Goku being written this way, I don't think that's good storytelling, and you agree with me as well. Zeno being written this way is good storytelling. We just don't like it because we're fucking annoyed. Because fucking damn it.
At least, like, I may not like it with Goku, but I can understand why it's going in that direction, because even with interviews with the previous, the official author, Toriyama, he's like, Goku was never really meant to be the end-all hero of the series. He evolved into that, but like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's like Toriyama said that, but I'm sorry, but
yeah, I know.
I want to give him the full credit, but it's like when you didn't transition into Gohan twice.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's his fault, but
even Gohan started to annoy me with this too, because when they were Gohan starts off at first like, Dad, this is incredibly serious. Like, I have a family to look out for. And when the two of them, Gohan's now getting excited, and even Beerus is like, you're all such a troublesome family. You know that, right? Even Gohan's oh, I'm kind of excited for this. But at the same time, when Goku's like, oh, we should bring Krillin along, Gohan's like, oh, I'm not so sure about that. Do you think he can handle it? And, they go to test him out. Now, to be fair, Gohan says to him, it's like, I want to test you because I want to know what you can do so that I can hopefully come up with a plan for for this tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, all right, Gohan, I'll give you that. Good on you. You should also be testing 18 with that logic too, but then whatever.
Well, no, 18 is a lot stronger than Krillin.
Well,
by
the
time
I would
Cell
argue,
Saga came around.
I would argue Super Saiyan 2 can still trump her easily. Like, she might be even with the Super Saiyan, but after that, and we have gods now, so... Granted, Super Saiyan still seems to be able to go toe-to-toe with most of the other beings in these other universes. Most of them. Not all of them, but most of them.
Well, also remember that the problem with judging things the way they are now with how they used to be is Super Saiyan used to be like, oh, it's a Super Saiyan with maybe a little bit of training added onto it. Now it's a thing where, like, I would argue Super Saiyan 1 could probably kill Cell because of how they've trained with Super Saiyan 1, not Super Saiyan 1 at its base power level.
Right.
Like, there is, like, the base power levels of things have now changed because of how they've trained with those.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, if you get what I'm saying. But still,
yeah,
I see what you're saying, though, but I think not only thematically, of course, was it going to Krillin, but it was also the fact that, like, yeah, Krillin hadn't trained in a while, but also, even though Beerus had to close his ears, Android 18 and 17 have been modified to be superhuman, blah, 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 blah,
yeah,
blah.
Oh, God,
I
fucking love that. I don't care. You can just hear that as long as they're strong. Oh, it fucking made me die. Because it's like, just Beerus, like, these motherfuckers, first they attain the power of the gods, then I find them doing time travel. Now they're fucking augmenting each other. I've had it up to here with your shit.
Well, I think it was, I'm actually happy they finally explained that, though, because unless I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure in the original series, it was alluded to that they used to be real people, and then they were modified, but I don't think it was ever expressly said, like, oh, yeah. Like, obviously it's alluded to or assumed because, like, oh, no, don't worry, 18, she can have kids because she used to be human. She was just modified. But still, like, I'm happy that it was really like, no, please remember, everyone. They aren't like 16. That's the point. 16 was, quote-unquote, created from scratch.
Right.
So I feel like it was alluded to, but I don't remember if it was directly stated. Like, I feel like it was just kind of like, well, 16, you're made from scratch. Oh, don't worry, 18 was given a bomb by Jiro. Like, I don't think they directly, at least in the English dub airing at the time, which was obviously edited, it wasn't directly stated, like, oh, no, Jiro fucked with those two until they were boop-boop robots,
Right. I feel like it might have been more explicitly stated in the manga, not in the anime. But
fair enough. Anyway, so I don't know, man. I feel like I don't like Goku's reaction. I feel like because it was an exhibition match, no one was gonna die on the spot if they fought their hardest. So like I felt like I feel like you're kind of looking at this like I don't know like. If everyone isn't like, but no, then for you, you're like, they're fucking arrogant, which, believe me, they were, to be fair. But, like, in a negative way. Like, they're so arrogant if they're not like, but my planet, no. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, everyone should be crying or close to crying at every point, like, oh, no, my planet. And then at that point, it's not really DBZ anymore.
Well,
or it's not really Dragon Ball anymore. Everyone's crying all the time.
Yeah. Well, I'm not expecting them to just give up or be like, "Oh, this is hopeless." But I mean, at least with DBZ, it was always some outside force, some evil force that Goku would have to test himself against to be like, "I don't know if I can beat them, but I have to beat them because everyone is depending on me." And granted, you're still kind of doing that here too, but there's still the essence of you've brought it on yourself. Even though it isn't entirely his fault, he had his part to play in it.
I'll raise you a Dr. Gero.
Yes, fair enough. He could have destroyed Dr. Gero when he had the chance, but that... I would argue that's different because Goku doesn't necessarily end someone's life. And yes, even though it would have bit him in the ass later on, like it did, it was still like, well, I'm not going to take his life. He might come back after me.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah. I get you. It's kind of like, I get you.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that the reactions are perfect. I'm just saying that, like, you know, if it was just like Beerus is like, you seem so nonchalant, and Goku's just like, you're right. Everything's over. What am I going to do? Like, what can he say other than, look,
no,
it fucking happened. What else can I do at this point? Like,
right, and he's not even the only one saying that. I mean, Old Kai says it too. But,
yeah, right, Supreme. No, Elder, right, Elder Kai, yeah.
Whis being like, oh, well, I'm not going to get destroyed. You know what, Whis? You can go shove it up your ass.
I wasn't surprised by that at all, because when you had fucking his dad, right, when you had his dad who works with Zeno saying all this, Whis was looking really calm, and I was like, wait, because Whis is an angel, does he know the outcome? You know, like, is that why he's calm? No, it's because Well, no, I thought, maybe he knows the outcome, but also because of everything involved, because of how everything works, it's just like, and angels don't die. Whis, what is this about?
Whis?
Well, Lord Beerus. Well, Lord Beerus, I won't die. Yeah. It's like, you motherfucker.
Motherfucker.
Yeah. You know, I get you, though. Goku is not, like, they haven't been doing Goku justice, but at the same time, like, that's why I'm not a biggest fan of the way they wrote the plot, because every time it feels like Goku could take personal responsibility for something he may have done, it sort of turns into, no, but don't worry, because they were going to destroy the planet, like the universes anyway. In a way, this whole arc may end with Goku saving the universes, and it's like, God damn it.
Right. Yeah. And it's like, okay, at that point, I'll be fine with it if he ends up saving everyone. I mean, maybe
really
not everyone,
but... You really think Goku's going to be like, well, really? So this Goku, you see, this is why I say to you, if you're upset about something, you're like, yeah, Goku's going to fucking murder 7 universes. That's like... You're allowed to be upset. Don't worry. I'm with you. It's just like, this is why I say to you sometimes, and if everyone's wondering, what do you mean? Sometimes I say to Tristan, like, I've said this Anna Saturday. That's what happened. Oh, yeah, it was last Saturday. We're like, no. It was actually during one of our episodes of Infinite World, so that's funny how it ties into DBZ. One of our episodes, you were just like, man, I don't like the way this game, you know, is, and I'm like, same. And you're like, yeah, there's no cutscene here, and I'm like, that's a problem. You're like, yeah, they probably just cut it out because, like, you know, just saving budget, lazy. And I'm like, what? Why would they be saving budget or lazy? I mean, saving budget maybe. But why would they be lazy? And it's kind of just like, because you don't like it, it becomes lazy. So you're like, I don't like Goku right now. He's going to let them all die.
It's not just because I don't like it. I'm just saying because it can be a possibility. I'm not saying that's exactly how it is.
Okay.
I'm just saying it's possible.
No, because fair enough. Because when it comes out, you're like,
wrong.
yeah,
I know that.
Like, oh, no. It's not about being proven wrong. It's just the idea that, like, it comes off as, so hear me out here, it comes off as you going, man, I don't like the way Goku's going. And because I don't like that, and it seems like, you know, he's not being portrayed well, he might let them all die. And I'm like, that's an interesting jump.
I mean, I'm not saying that he specifically would let them all die, but it might not be within his power to prevent it at some point.
Okay. Yes. Fair enough. But I also don't think that the show itself, putting Goku aside, the show itself would let that happen.
And
if it was,
you know
and
why?
I mean this seriously, why?
They've even left a perfect cleanup for this. Even if things do go south and, like, let's say universes are destroyed, guess who gets a wish on the Super Dragon Balls when they win?
That actually might work too. Either one would work. Yes.
It's like, I'm gonna destroy them. I'm gonna wish them all back. You little shit. It's like, well, you know I can just erase it again after you wish it back, right? Well, I mean, it might take a while, but I could wait a year or 100 years and, you know, wish them back again. I don't think they would go that far, but you see what I mean.
You're right. Either one can happen, which is very interesting. Now, I'll say this much. I would have preferred Goku throwing the fight when it came to that one dude, one of the 3, like, Fox brothers.
Yeah, I mean, they even boxed him in there, though. It's like, if you don't give it your all, I'm going to kill you right now. It's like, well, all right.
But I feel like even him giving it his all, there could have been like I don't know, I feel like it could have been like, yes, I'm Super Saiyan God Blue, but at the same, or Super Saiyan Blue, but at the same time, I don't know. I feel like there could have been a way of him throwing the fight, but either way, I mean, it was, I'm sure again Goku's going to try to make things better by the end of it. Like Goku will even say, "Listen, can you do this for me?" And they'll be like, "Okay, you're."
I mean, I feel like Goku can't even. It's hard to even hold back when he's doing baseball. So the idea of put on a good show, but don't give everything you've got. Wink, wink. Kind of falls short with Goku. Like, all right, do you want one or the other? I can't. I don't get it. I can't do one. I can't do both. Like,
very true. So, by the way, I feel like we've complained enough about Goku. Can I complain about something else?
Okay. There was one thing in that scene though that was great about Goku. Just real quick.
Please.
What the Super Saiyan Blue with Kaioken? I'm so happy that's coming back. I'm so happy he's doing that more.
Yes.
And then throw in that Warp Kamehameha. Holy shit.
It's funny. It was a great start to the arc. The problem is, I feel like it wasn't for 8 full episodes. It still wasn't enough. Like it still feels very, very slow, like snail's pace slow. But jumping to what I'm actually upset about, because like I could argue, that's a problem. But no, what I really want to complain. I say complain because I don't use the word complain unless I feel like it's really something small. That's why I said our complaints about Goku, because I feel like they're sort of small versus like other things we can really dig into. So I'm going to say a complaint. Right? And I find this complaint. What?
No, go ahead.
Okay. So I feel like it's very hard to tell a story when everyone working in promotion, like I don't know if that's like, I'm sorry, promotional, like the work, like I won't say not merchandising necessarily, but everyone creating either ads or releasing artwork or even putting it into the episodes when they're all like pro spoilers. Now, I know that even a show like One Piece, right, they'll have the opening where pretty much like 4 out of 5 of the crew will already be there before they're even there on the show. I get it, right?
Right.
But there's also a manga attaching itself to it. So I'm not the biggest, like I don't really despise it as much because there is a manga that you could be reading as well. I know you should be able to watch the anime by itself, but there is a manga that you could be reading as well. Now, why is Matt upset here? Matt is upset because it took 8 episodes and still technically at least 1 or 2 more to get everyone for this tournament, yet in the opening and more fucking importantly, in the mid-episode sequences, that cut from commercial to the actual episode, they reveal everyone's faces. Yeah. And that is infuriating to me because if in the 8 episodes they had gotten everyone and already had been in the tournament, I wouldn't have minded. I really wouldn't have. But now, because here's the thing too, some people will say, "Oh, but you know what I'll do? I'll skip the opening. Because if I skip the opening, I won't know who's in it, and I'll blind myself from the internet so I won't see any other spoilers. So I'll be completely spoiler-free while watching this."
Do that, right?
But some people will. No, because here's the thing: you could get spoilers on the internet, of course, right? People like post.
I mean,
so, you don't want the spoilers.
That's inevitable, but like, you shouldn't have to skip the opening to not be spoiled about something coming later. And even with the the commercial cuts, like I feel like that's just the general picture they've thrown up for the overarching arc. But we're still at the beginning, and it's like technically we haven't been revealed as to who's going to be on the team. When you see all their faces plastered there,
My thing is though is the opening is easy to skip. Most people are skipping it anyway. So I think it's okay to skip the opening. The reason why the middle cuts piss me off is because that's right in the fucking episode. That's in the middle. How can you skip in the middle?
Right.
Like, the coolest thing would have been if, like, everyone's face was blacked out with a question mark over it. And then the only face in the middle was Goku. And then as everyone was revealed, even though most of them were in one episode revealed, as they're all revealed, then their faces pop up in the I guess, rectangle. Is that the right?
Right.
I don't know in each bracket, right? In each, area. That would have been perfect to me. And if someone wasn't confirmed, like 17, when they show them, there's a question mark over it. Like their face, but question mark over it. Like, is that person confirmed? Like, that would have been cool. And then as every person is confirmed, the new thing is there. I know it's some work, but at the same fucking time, it is infuriating that I know everyone on the bracket, and the story is like, will we get that person? Well, of course you fucking will.
Fucking do, because they're
right
already there. Yeah. The reveal for 17, if they had left it, open until this episode, and Goku's like, hey, so what's 17 up to? I would have lost my shit. Which I did
lost
when I
my
first
shit.
saw the when I first saw the image, but now it's just like you're right. It's like we know they're gonna be there. Can we get this the fuck over with?
Like I wouldn't have a problem with the snail's pace if I didn't know who was being chosen.
Right. Yeah, me too. Because it would still give you a sense of excitement.
Because we could speculate.
For me. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
No, not everyone is doing a podcast across the U.S. or abroad, right? But still, it would give us some speculation. Oh my goodness, Yamcha's asking about it. Will Yamcha be in there? Well, no, he fucking won't, because we saw the fucking image.
Because he's going to wait at home and be like, oh, I'll really surprise them at the very end, and I'll show up at the end when they never expect me to. Like, oh, Yamcha. I feel like I just want to pat him on the back and, like, give him a hug. Like, I know, man, you try, and you still want to be cool. I get it. You want to be cool like the kids these days. But, man, just, you're not that young anymore, man. Just, like, if you want to go, like, go up to Goku and be like, hey, I've been training, which you haven't, so, You know what's really funny? I want him to be sitting at home and then going, oh man, actually I forgot about the address, and then talking to Bulma, and Bulma's just like, that's like Universal. That's not even like here. And he goes, wait a minute, Universal? I know what I'll do. Hello? Yeah, King Kai. Can you take me there? I know. I'm just laughing. I remember why I liked you, Yamcha. You tell the funniest jokes. Click. Oh shit.
No, not because Yamcha's a joke, because how the fuck is King Kai going to get him there?
Right, how the fuck? It's like King Kai's just like, you think I fucking know?
If you think I'm the biggest god in the universe, you really haven't been paying attention. Click.
Right, oh God. No, that would be great. That would be hysterical. Oh.
Literally, Bubbles. He looks at Bubbles. He's a bigger monkey than you. Like, I just can't imagine. No, but seriously, imagine that. Like, he's just like, well, I know a god, you know a Kai. You're like, he's not gonna be able to help you get there. Sorry.
Yeah.
Anyway, it just really pisses me off. And I know, like, it's funny. Some people would be like, that's not a complaint. That's actually, like, you're not complaining. That's actually a big thing. But I guess I consider it a complaint because, like, there are other story things that we can talk about, like how it's a snail's pace, like how they probably shouldn't have put the opening in yet. Not because of spoilers, but just because it's like it doesn't exist yet. Prelim, or the exhibition existed, but then after the exhibition, you then have like a month cooldown. Now, it's not a month cooldown for us because we marathon the episodes. And I know you haven't seen them either, so it's the first time you've seen them as well today. But still, it's really frustrating, because you haven't been seeing them, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have not, no.
So it's just really frustrating, and I'm sure you agree. Like, I wonder if everyone else agrees too, because like I remember some friends of mine who would be watching Tokusatsu, right? And because there's a lot of spoilers, especially in the next episode previews, you just wouldn't watch the previews. You're like, okay, I'm not gonna watch the next episode previews. Then when the opening of the show would try to push the new movie, the new tie-in movie that would come out. The same way Dragon Ball Super did with Resurrection F. You're like, okay, I don't want to see that. I'll skip it. Right? So, like, it became a thing where, like, oh, if that's that time of the year, then I'll skip the opening. Right? And Tokusatsu, of course, certain shows like Ultraman, movies like Godzilla, which we've done on our Friday Night Movies podcast, television shows like, Super Sentai, which became Power Rangers in America, Kamen Rider, which became Kamen Rider, and Masked Rider, and Kamen Rider Dragon Knight, stuff like that, right? So whenever there's a tie-in movie every year, they'll be in the opening of the show, and again, people will skip it, so it's fine. But here it's like, all right, I'll skip the opening, and I won't watch the end, previews. I'll be good. And then in the smack middle of the episode, you see, and here's the thing too, right? You could be like, well, maybe they're potentials. But when you see 17 there, you're like, oh shit, this is not a drill. This is official.
Right, yeah.
You're not putting 17 on there if he's a maybe. So that's my take on it. Like, if you would have put a lot more, like if you would have also, even Roshi too, by the way, you put Roshi on there, you're like, this is not a drill. This is their fucking lineup. So the fact that it takes, from the looks of it, 10 episodes, because I'm assuming there's going to be 2 more after this of them prepping, even if it's just 1 more, the fact that it takes 9 episodes, 9 weeks, to build the lineup that they already showed 9 weeks previous, I'm just not a big fan of that at all. I think it's bullshit, and I'm going to complain about that till the day I die. Yes, till the day I die. Because for someone who doesn't like spoilers, it's just insanity. Like, I can't think of any other episodic show that's just like, we're going to assemble a team, and then in the promotional stuff be like, this is the team they've assembled. And then take 10 episodes, 9 to 10 episodes, so 9 to 10 weeks to just be like, can we get that person on the team? Next week, we've gotten them on the team. Can we get that person on the team? We'll find out. Oh, we get them. We got them. And just showing the same picture over and over and over again. I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone, Tristan. Like, I feel like it's just going to get to the point. Like, I feel like it's going to get to the point where it's just going to be like, oh, man, will Goku defeat that guy? And then the mid-cut is just going to, like, be a clip of him defeating the guy. Not you're like, oh, you mean a picture, Matt? No, a full clip. No, not a picture, a full clip of him defeating the guy.
Right.
Like it'll be like doom, boom, 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 and then the clip over that will be him killing the guy. And then 9 weeks later in the show, though, that's the clip, like fully dubbed, of him killing the guy.
Right.
It just, again, I know I'm using hyperbole here, but it's getting fucking ridiculous. Right. It really is. Like just imagine, with our Let's Plays that we have over on our Let's Play channel, Those Guys Play, our YouTube channel, imagine if we filmed an entire show, like entire game's worth of shows. We beat the game, and then throughout the series of the game, we just showed, like, if we had a special guest on, or how we beat the game, like a picture, a still. How fucking weird would that be? Like, I just can't imagine that. Like, it's like, can we beat him? Shows the victory picture beforehand.
Yes, we can. Oh, God.
It's funny. I have Super playing in the background, as I always do for our podcasts, and I look up at the screen, and taunting me is the picture. And I'm like, you motherfuckers.
You motherfucker, get out of here. Oh.
Anyway. So, let's talk about good things. What?
Yeah, it's actually kind of funny with the opening and ending, which it's fun. Like the songs just themselves. Like I do love the opening and ending. The ending especially.
I love the newest ending, a lot.
Yeah. It's actually the 7th one. Yeah, Jesus Christ, it's the 7th ending.
Yeah, they're pumping those. They're pumping those out a bit. They're pumping those out a bit too fast, in my opinion. But. I am a huge fan of the latest ending because it feels like something that would come out of like the 90s, early 2000s. And I feel like anime music hasn't been like that in a while, at least the anime that I'm watching.
Right.
So it was really nice, like the one with Bulma and Vegeta.
Yeah.
I really like that one. So that's nice to me anyway. Yeah.
I even feel that the opening and endings are trying to connect to the series, or even, some of the characters. I mean, especially Goku, in a sense.
Yeah.
Because it's, the lyrics giving this whole idea of, two sides, angels and demons always, screaming at me, to destroy the other side. And, is there a right answer? It's like, do I destroy myself or everything else? It almost kind of feels like, it's like, well, Goku wants to fight in this tournament for himself, but you're also putting a lot of people at risk by doing it.
Yeah.
And it's the idea of living your own life versus maybe living your life for everybody else. And, I mean, that's probably looking really far into it, but I like that it feels like there's a connection.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I'm not going to say that,
enjoy
you know,
that kind
you're not,
of thing.
I'm not going to say that you're looking too far into it because, of course, you know, these openings are made and some of them are brought in, but some of them are specifically made. And, of course, I would say the opening, the newest one, is specifically made for the show because they mentioned Zeno.
Even Zeno-sama will be blown away.
I'm like,
and
clearly you weren't
going to be...
Yeah.
Am I reading too far into that line? Is it going to
you are.
into that?
No, you're definitely reading too far into that line.
Into that line,
it's the obvious. It's the obvious.
The idea of
whoa, he's going to be like, whoa, dude.
Boredom and fly before the stone weighs you down, which is odd because they show Vegeta flash in that line too. Well, he's perfectly happy with his family, but whatever.
Well, it's interesting. He's happy with his family, but funnily enough, when Goku asked him to train, please remember, he said, you're going to have to convince Bulma because she'll be mad at me. Which, yes, it shows that he cares, but at the same time, it shows it's not me like, no, I have this obligation. I love my wife. I have to be here for this child. It's like, look, you get her to say yes, I'm in.
I mean...
So remember that. I'm not saying he doesn't care. I'm just saying please remember that the thought process is you get her to say it, I'm in. Because, the nice way is, hey, it doesn't matter what she says, I'll be here for her. Which I'm not saying that's him, but I'm saying that's the nice, that's the goal. The goal isn't, hey, man, if she says don't be here for the birth, I'm out. So I do want that to be put out there.
At least Vegeta's even just giving the forethought to be like, so I should maybe be here for the birth of my child. Granted, yes, Goku was dead. But they even make a fucking joke about it. Even Chi-Chi was like, yeah, because you were fucking dead. And he's like, oh, I shouldn't have opened my mouth. And then everyone fucking laughs. And I'm like, I'm glad you guys find it funny. I'm glad at least they can all make peace with it because holy shit.
Well, it's been a while since he died. Twice.
I know. Oh.
Twice.
But it's just
it
feels like in the past, I was always trying to defend Goku against oh, he's a terrible fucking father. It's like, I mean, arguably he was saving the world. But at this point, I'm like,
I'm confused.
Fuck,
it's Goku's fault for being dead.
I'm
confused.
I don't. That's
you can say it sucks that they're laughing about it now. What?
Yeah. But I mean, even in the sense he wasn't around for Gohan much either. It's again dead. But I don't know.
That's what I'm trying to say. I feel like it's coming to the point where you're becoming Chi-Chi, and it's wait a minute. So you're saying that the entire world would have been better off dead if he would have been with his son in the afterlife? I don't think we would have had the show that you loved, Tristan.
I know. Well, that's why I get confused. I've heard a lot of people who are fans of the show who are just he's never there for his children. He made it so there's a planet for them to still be on.
You know what? I'll say this much. The problem is when later on in the show, of course, and even now, it feels like the bonds between life and death are broken because it's kind of we'll bring him back for a day. And it's y'all serious? Well, he's been so good. I know he's been so good and he's been so great for the world, but at this point, it feels like this could have just happened sooner in a way. I'm sure Baba mentioned the paperwork, but still, eventually they break the bond so much. I can understand if you're oh, the show feels off the rails with the way they could laugh, but again, over this death and everything. But at the same time, it's been a while since he died, and again, they're living in a world where Goku's now a god. They literally have a god protecting them.
Yeah. I mean,
anyway.
I don't know. It just feels like it's getting harder to remind myself that, he's still looking out for them. Right? Dude? Goku.
Okay, if he wasn't looking out for them. So let me tell you the alternative then. So Goku says, I don't need any of them. I'll beat everyone myself, even if there's 10 of them.
I mean,
so you would have rather him done that.
It kind of felt like it was going in that direction for a bit there, until he has that sparring match with Krillin, which I was actually happy that they had that bit. Krillin proves to him
But he's the one who suggested Krillin.
No, I know, but even when Gohan was testing Krillin, he was like, you do realize this is not a life or death match. This is a tournament with specific set rules. It's like, I can use that to my advantage. I don't necessarily have to be the strongest one there. I just have to wring them out.
Right. Oh, well, yes, but it's still...
It's just the sense that Goku is reminded that, yes, my friends can help me out. And in this case, me being the strongest on the team, arguably, whether you want to argue Vegeta or not, but it's always been in the past, Goku was the trump card. Everyone else was pretty much there just to hold the fort down until Goku got there. Now it's now you're all thrown into the mix all at once, and honestly, it's due to ring out. So, you can get wrung out even if you're the strongest one, if your opponent outsmarts you or has an ability that helps them do that. And Krillin reminds Goku of that.
Yeah,
and even 18,
I'm just saying
when
that...
she jumps in, she jumps in to, save him from the blast because holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's
yeah.
It's I know Goku was holding back because if he went full power and Krillin and him had that Kamehameha shootout, Krillin would be, fucking space dust by now. But even 18 jumps in Krillin, the fuck are you doing? I know you're having fun with your friend, but that would have literally killed you.
Right, but this is why I'm confused, because, I'm trying to give you the alternative of, if Goku didn't invite anyone, then that would be selfish. And you're going, yeah, he was not going to invite anyone. And I'm like, what? He literally brought people to
No, I know. Okay,
exhibition.
So he invites them, but only after learning that he needs a team of 10. Because before he was like, nah, it's cool, we got Gohan and Boo.
Right, because if it was only 3 per, that would have been great. He didn't know how many they needed until they were like, no, we need 10.
Yes.
He's not, okay, he doesn't know the rules. He just knows, it's a tournament, put me in there, put some other strong fighters, will be great. Oh, wait, end of the world? Or end of the universe? Shit. Oh, and you need 10. Well, shit, we're going to get 10. We only need 3 for this exhibition, though. All right, then I'll get 2. And then I'll get the other 7 later. There was never it's just going to be me against all 10 fighters, and the universe is at stake,
okay.
But I don't care because that's what I'm trying to say. It was never I don't care about
I'm
getting
trying to
people
think, in. Yes, I'm trying to think of what line made me feel like that, but I remember now when he fights against, I guess it was after the last wolf from Universe 9.
Mm-hmm.
And then, granted, he's just looking forward to the match in a sense, but he calls out to all the other universes after beating him. He's like, bring on your best. I want a good match. I can't remember the exact words he used, but and the rest of the universes are looking at him at this point because the wolf has now turned everybody else against him. Look, he's the one who made, granted, you've made the point earlier, Zeno's the one coming up with the rules. Goku just asked for the tournament. But
which, by the way,
turning
makes me
the crowd
hate that guy
him.
A lot. I hate that so much because
he was playing dirty.
But yes. But here's why I really hate that, though, why everyone believed it, right? It makes sense in something like One Punch Man, where it's, you know what I'm saying? It makes sense in One Punch, where, where, these are all random people, and they're like, that's the hero. Wait a minute, that's the one the reason why we're destroyed, and we like, Tiger Mask, or it was Black Tiger, or something like that.
Yeah.
It makes sense there. However, the problem here is that, because here's the thing too, right? I was like, oh, maybe Whis' dad kind of whispered it more to them, so it was only more to Universe 7, and no one else heard it. But then Universe 9 referenced it a little bit later, or not Universe 9, the one where the hero
11?
is from.
Yeah.
11 references it. And I'm like, well, technically, Zeno did this or whatever, something along those lines. And I was like, wait, so y'all motherfuckers, everyone here knows that Zeno is going to destroy every universe anyway, and this tournament was because all of you are the weaker universes. Yet still, it's Goku's fault, apparently. That got me mad.
I would argue that they would look at it as, well, of course they're not going to go against Zeno's word because he's the god of all. It's like they've been hardwired. It's like, no, he must obviously have a plan, or this must be right in a sense.
But then it would mean that
mortal.
But they wouldn't blame the mortal if they go by Zeno's word and they're like, yes, Zeno is correct. It is clearly not the mortal's fault because Zeno is correct. He was going to destroy us anyway, but now we have a chance to survive. All praise Zeno, and then that one wolf. Well, he's the one that started it. Yeah, but Zeno just said. Yes, you could argue they're all being dicks and using Goku as a scapegoat.
I feel like there's more tension between the ones who are at the mercy of Zeno at this point, because apparently not all the other universes are at threat of being destroyed. Oh, I wrote it down, too.
Which is really funny.
Oh, that pissed me the fuck off, because then, so 1 and 12, the ones that are connected, 1 and 12 and 5 and 8, it's like, because their mortals rank over 7, it's like they won't be destroyed because they're the cream of the crop. And then the Kais and the gods of destructions from that universe are like, oh, yeah, we're the best. Like, of course we don't have to worry. It's like, so you motherfuckers, they're just lording it over them at that point. It's like, oh, yeah, we're so good, we don't have to worry. It's like the rest of you are,
right.
Lowly little shits. You have to worry about it.
Well, here's something very interesting. I have a feeling that Goku and Vegeta, I don't know who else, but definitely Goku and Vegeta, are much stronger than a lot of the people that they're fighting.
Mm.
The problem is, hear me out, it's the averages of the universe.
Yeah.
So what that means is, for every fucking fluffy bunny, they're bringing the fucking average down.
Mm.
No,
and
because think about
Universe 7 only has 28 worlds with the 3 or 4 that have been destroyed that Kaioshin mentioned that have life on them. That's interesting.
Right. That's very fucking interesting. But here's the thing too, though. Universe 7 has Universe 7. Sorry, Universe. No, yes, 7. I was right. Yes, Universe 7 has 2 gods on it. So clearly, there have to be a lot of shitty ass fucking fluffy bunnies ruining the average. Like any turtle. Like literally any turtle. Fuck you, turtle. You are completely ruining the average.
Just Turtle from Master Roshi's Island? Oh.
Well, no. He's one of the better turtles. He works with Roshi. I'm sure he knows some shit.
True. Yeah, he even beat up those beach bum guys that were trying to steal Marin from Krillin.
Yeah, but Poir, fuck you, Poir. You, how about you transform into a better fighter, Poir?
Oolong.
Yeah, how about Oolong too? How about for 5 minutes you transform into a better fighter with some higher power level, kind of bring up the average of our universe? Fuck you. No, I'm sorry. But in all seriousness though, right? I have a feeling that, I'm sorry, I even should throw out Majin Buu, who was like the threat last, at the end of Dragon Ball Z. There are people like, actually, by the way, that's another funny thing too. Technically, Buu isn't immortal, but because of the terms used in the show to refer to humanoid beings, I guess they are using him.
Yeah.
Because he is, But anyway, still, even a being like Majin Buu, because it's the entire universe, not just humanity on Earth. So, Buu definitely brings up that average. But again, you got normal humans, and I don't even mean like Hercule / Mr. Satan, because like at least he has training. I'm talking about like random Bob and Jim, over in West City. It's like, fuck you, Bob. Fuck you, Jim. You're random people.
Right.
You literally do nothing for the Universe 7's average. That's what I was trying to say. Like, I have a strange feeling that when it comes to brute strength, Goku, Vegeta, and Buu can actually beat up a lot of people. It is sad, though, that Universe 9 is the weakest. But again, though, just because the average is bigger doesn't mean that, like, this show might not look at it that way, so they might make everyone else stronger in some ways, but that still doesn't mean that Goku and Vegeta are completely outclassed by everyone in every other universe that's fighting.
Yeah, and I mean, it's sad because it kind of makes it feel like the strong will survive kind of scenario, and it's like nothing else but strength matters in the universe. Is that what you're trying to say? Like, what about all the wonderful and beautiful things that you have in the universe that are just good for a different reason other than they're strong? It's like,
again, who's making the rules up?
I know, the fucking child, which is oh god, so irritating.
I know that's the thing, man.
Point.
Yeah.
Yes, I wonder. Like, I really do wonder at some point, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it feels like that's been a theme that's been kind of hidden under the rug and only comes out to pop out its evil head like once or twice with a line of dialogue, and it's usually from Beerus. It's usually like, is there gonna be a fight between the mortals and gods, or even in this case, like the universes that are exempt from the tournament? Is it going to be divided between sides, like the universes that are supposed to be, lording it over, and the universes that have to fight for their own survival? Like, is it going to get to the point where the gods are going to be like, nope, this is how it's going to be, and the rest of them are like, no, we're not just going to sit back and let you do that, because Goku and Vegeta do have the power of gods at this point. So it's like,
it can
maybe
happen,
we don't want to follow that. Yeah,
but not with
like
Zeno,
it's anything that's going to happen. Right, Zeno just snaps his fucking fingers and it's gone.
Yeah, so like it's not going to work with Zeno, but it might be a thing against Beerus. Like, I do wonder if they're going to make a movie against Beerus, and then have the show tie into that.
I guess it's odd in that sense, because in this sense it would feel like Beerus would be helping them, because it's like, well, the whole universe is going to be destroyed along with me anyway. I'm going to go out kicking and screaming. But like you said, it's just a blink of an eye and they're all gone anyway. They'd have to find some way around that.
I don't mean in this tournament. I mean like in the future if there's going to be a fight. It might be with Beerus or with Champa or something like that. Anyway, but I want to mention when it comes to this arc, though, it's, that's the thing. Like, when you were a kid, right, were you, like, sitting there like, man, this is cool that Goku's so strong? Or you were like, look, this Goku shit's cool, but can we just look at that fucking tree in the background? It's just beautiful.
Okay, in the sense that I feel like things should be allowed to live and not have to...
I know. I'm just saying that when you were a kid, you weren't watching the show focusing on everything around Goku. You were focusing on Goku because he's strong. Or Gohan because he's strong.
Because
like, I'm not saying you were sitting there saying
everything else too at the same time.
Right. I understand. I'm not saying that you were saying everything should die. I'm just saying that, like, the concept is, oh, he's strong.
I mean, if I wanted that, I should have just rooted for Frieza or Cell or Boo or, shit.
Exactly.
I had plenty of opportunities.
Exactly. You did. But, like, you were just looking at the character like, oh, he's strong. Now, of course, he was the good guy, but also he's strong. Like, you weren't sitting there, like, looking at some of the, like, I mean, of course you wanted every good guy to win, yes. But you still, though, like, you were sitting there like, yes, Goku, he's strong. Gohan, he's strong. Yamcha, he do what he can.
And that was the thing, though. I never looked at them any less for that, though.
Of course,
even,
fair enough.
With Krillin,
it's
like, Krillin's the whole idea. It's like, yeah, Goku. It's like, yeah, you're the front man, but there are so like you wouldn't have made it far if you didn't have a support team. Let's be completely honest.
And here they are. See, that's the thing too. Like, I would like, imagine if this tournament had no one else other than Goku. That would have been horseshit. So, like, I'm happy that they're bringing characters back. Like, I remember there was a point where you were like, yes, they're bringing Gohan back. And now you're like, Goku's selfish for bringing Gohan back.
Well, it feels like Gohan's kind of buying into Goku's want to fight, because it's like, yeah, you know, you're your father's son. It's like, oh, I'm getting excited about this now too. It's like, whoa, wait, you know, you were worried about your wife and daughter there. Let's keep it that way. Like, God damn it.
But why can't it be both?
I know.
Like, you're putting the idea out there that, like, self-sacrifice has to only be self-sacrificing. Like, it's like, hey, Tristan, for your job, we're going to pay you. You fucking can't do that. I have to do this just for the work ethic. No one could pay me.
The universe's existence isn't on the line if I get paid or not, though. I mean, myself is, but...
You are your own universe, Tristan.
Oh, shit.
I shouldn't get this existential. I shouldn't get this existential. I shouldn't do this. This is stupid. But seriously, the universe isn't on the line, yes, but at the same time, like, self-sacrifice shouldn't be only so, because that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, then the show just becomes like Gohan and everyone being really moody every time there's another threat. And here's the thing too, right? It's just trying to call back to Dragon Ball, where like things got bad, but everyone wasn't like they were in Z, where it was like, yes, this next threat may be the worst thing we've ever faced. Hold me. I will, if we survive. Like, that's kind of, like, that was just a generic voice for anyone.
Each other. Just the stern expression on their face, but they're just holding each other like, we're all going to die. I know. It's okay. Then, I mean,
I can assure you, this isn't for warmth. Tien,
right.
He's very cold.
I guess in a way that just speaks volumes about who I am, but there are plenty of other times. There are plenty of other times where we had elements from Dragon Ball, and I loved it. That was great. But it just, I just can't laugh along with it at this point. It just feels like there's too much at stake.
Yes, that's the problem. They are bringing in Z with the stakes, but they're trying to keep things light with Dragon Ball, like, I guess, feelings, like the way the characters feel.
Right.
But again, though, here's the thing. The reason why I say moody all the time is because Gohan had time to be frustrated. Now he's here actually getting into it, and you're like, you can't feel any kind of joy. It's kind of like, well, like, he did, like, because the thing is, the problem with Goku is it feels like he's never felt that kind of frustration, like, now. And even though I even say, well, it's always going his way, still, you are correct. He's not even feeling like a minute of it, and that is a problem. Yeah. But with Gohan, it's like Gohan does feel it. He's like, oh, man, this sucks. But, hey, I get to fight again. No, you can't feel that way. And it's kind of like, but he liked fighting as a kid. So, like, yeah. Like, that's the thing. Like, I understand where you're coming from, Tristan, but at a point, it just comes off like, if they're not feeling bad 24/7, then they are being arrogant and terrible. But then that would be a really awkward show to watch. That's the thing, too. You'd have to watch it 24/7. Like, everyone would have to be Beerus and Supreme Kai. Do you want that?
I mean, I've already said it feels like that's how I am watching this. Like, I feel like Beerus half the time. Like, God damn it, Goku.
Oh, I know. But I'm saying, would you want them all? Like, every single time there's a punch, but what about my child and daughter? You know, what about my kids? Well, what about
you're in the fight.
Wife? Well, but, like, even watching the fight, it's like, this is a nice fight, but my wife and my child. Hey, Gohan, that punch was great, but my wife and my child. They even try to, I feel like, in a way, bring up that point when he fights the hero dude, Toppo. Yes, Toppo.
When Goku goes to shake his hand after the fight, like, it's like, oh, it was still a good match. I'm looking forward to it in the tournament. And Toppo just turns his back, like, no, you're labeling him evil. It's like, I thought they were going to kind of have an effort, like you were saying, to make Goku not out as the bad guy. It's like, well, you fought him. You get to judge his character for yourself. You realize he's not doing this to be malevolent, right? No, he's still an asshole.
Yeah.
All right. Now you're kind of
I'm not
asshole,
a big fan.
Whatever.
I'm not a big fan of Super Punch Man. Like, I'm not a big fan of it.
Super Punch Man. Oh, the fact that like a bear hug was gonna fucking split Goku in half too, and he was just Super Saiyan. I'm like, I didn't like him at that point either. But like at the same time, I was like, Goku, stop dicking around. I know. Like I've even said that gods can be taken, by surprise. Granted, he was being taken by surprise. But when Gohan was just standing there smiling like, nah, he's still got this. It's like, you sure he's not going to split him in half? Because I think his eyes are whiting out. Yeah, he lost his transformation. No, he's just going to go blue and break out of it. All right.
Well, because the thing is like, at first it's kind of like, Goku, you felt him out already. Please.
Stop dicking around.
What I think was really funny is that, like, every single time Goku's standing there watching his son get his ass kicked, like, look, it worked last time. I'm holding the senzu beans in case it really looks like sudden death, but I can assure you guys, I took the gamble with Cell, and it worked, and now he's even older than that, so it's not like, this is 12-year-old Gohan or 10-year-old Gohan. He can handle himself, but I'm taking the senzu beans, because here's the thing, right? My thing is, Vegeta takes the senzu beans, it's like, you need to fucking earn these. Like, it's a bit different. Goku takes it, it's like, when the time is ready, if we need to, I'll be the one to give it to him. That's my take on it, right?
Yeah.
Like, Goku isn't going to be like, oh no, Gohan died. Oh, well, guess that's more for me.
I know. No, I know that. Yeah, because even Gohan was like, no, wait, please let me try and prove to myself. Like, it's not even just for you guys or even for my father. It's like, I need to prove it to myself that I still got this in me. And it's like, you do.
Exactly.
But, dear God, can you not, like, die of poisoning? Holy shit, Gohan.
I know. With all the technological advancements on their world, it's not even like you die from, like, space poisoning. It's just like, nah, just standard, man. But my thing was this, right? My thing was, it was really funny seeing that happen with Goku and Gohan again, like with Cell. And then when the roles are reversed, you're like, so when he's sitting there like, oh, my dad can do it, or like, so how does it feel, Dad? I don't know which.
Yeah.
I don't know which.
Yeah.
If it's just, I don't know if it's Gohan sitting there like, so how is tough love, Father?
Yeah, how the fuck does
it feels
feel,
like my bones breaking. Yeah. Really, I actually remember the same thing with
like.
Cell. Yes.
Oh God,
no, I'm pretty sure
right.
Cell just,
fuck. Yeah, the bear hug. Oh God.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, he was facing Gohan when he did it. Goku was reversed, facing away from the opponent, but same difference. Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
how
it's really funny. It's just like
11-year-old me is going, yeah, fuck you.
It's great, isn't it? Oh man. Anyway, but yes. So, I'm just trying to say that, like, I agree with you on Goku, but I do think that, like, my only really real complaint that, like, I can't argue with you at all, or I even put out there, and I assume you agree, is it feels like they're trying to write the plot around it to make Goku not seem like a jerk.
Yeah. I mean,
which sucks.
At least, like, if you even look at the other arc, like, they put it on to other characters. Like, Trunks is the one like, oh, I really, I've been fighting this for so long, I don't know if I can do it. It's like, I went to you guys for help. And Goku was like, yeah, we're going to give it our best shot. But, like, it was always like, it gave other people hope. Like, Goku being like, don't worry, it's like, we'll think of something. We got this. And even when things were down, he was still like, no, I'm going to find a way to do this. It inspired hope. Now, it's less inspiring and more frustrating, and not the sense that he's lost any sense of, that we can do this and everything's going to be all right. It's just, it still just doesn't feel good when he has when he had a part to play in it. Even being, like, because Beerus even warned him. It's like, and okay, like, yes, Zeno is the one who's making the rules, but Beerus even specifically warned him, you have no idea what else will come attached with this if you do this. And he fucking did it anyway.
Right, but here's my counter. Like, if this didn't happen, again, it sucks that the plot became this, but if this didn't happen,
it becomes
all the world would have been destroyed anyway.
Right.
Or that because because Goku had asked about it, even if he's like, I'm not going to follow up on it now, it's like, and then it never would happen again. Like, if the thought was, well, we want to get rid of the universes anyway. Oh shit, we can have this tournament to get rid of the universes. It's not like it would have been forgotten. And even if it would have been forgotten for like 1,000 years. Okay, so we wouldn't have seen it happen. But, like, I don't think it would have been like, oh, then I guess it never does happen. Oh, well, I guess we'll never destroy the universes that we wanted to destroy. Like, no, because it can happen in an instant, it literally could have happened in an instant.
Right.
Now, again,
we
could say it sucks that they weaved the story into that, but because it was weaved into it, it was. So it takes that away from Goku. And that's
it takes it away from Goku and now puts it on Zeno and makes Zeno even worse now because
which is fine because he's a kid, but it sucks that they took it away from Goku.
Right, but
because I will admit I do want I wish there was a way for him to take responsibility, but it isn't because now it's on Zeno.
Right. And so that's fine then now, I guess, but now you've placed the responsibility on the ultimate authority, but who has, like, there's no one to check that ultimate authority now. Like, you've given it to the being, like, right or wrong, you've now given it to the being that has the final say. And I guess that's what's irritating me so much now. It's like, there's not even, like, the idea that he can just blink and everything will be erased. It's like, now you can't even have Goku or Vegeta go up against him to be like, no, you can't do that. Literally no one can do anything against that.
So
and
you're
I guess,
saying,
granted, it'll probably turn into, like you said, Goku being like, hey, I know this was the rules, but, like, we're friends, like, can you do me this solid, buddy? And it'll be the whole idea of Journey to the West. It's like making friends with your enemies. And Zeno will probably be like, yeah, you know what? Let's not do that. Let's do it a yearly thing. And, like, that kind of thing.
I'm pretty sure that on the air, Tristan Walter just advocated for 2 grown men to beat up a child.
That's an omnipotent God that can destroy your existence in a blink of an eye.
Who is also a baby.
All right, you know what? Fuck you, Matt.
But, Matt, don't worry. There's 2 of them. 2 babies. Beating up 2 babies. Why are their fists so large? And why do I feel none of it?
Well, you know what? I never said that the universe, like, the next leader would be any better, now did I?
But anyway, no, but seriously. I understand, yes. You're saying that they put it on someone that can't technically be put in their place.
And can't be held responsible.
Yes, in a way, but in punches. Because that's what the show's about. Be responsible with punches.
Like, if you're evil and you've killed people and done terrible things, like, no matter who you were, Goku would punch you and it would make everything better. Now you've taken that away. I can't have my Goku punch you and make me feel better.
But I would argue they took that away the second they made the God of Destruction a nice guy. Sort of.
Well, like the idea of befriending your enemies. Like, Beerus could still destroy their world too, but now Goku is at I would argue, a level playing field with Beerus now. So if Beerus turned around at any point and was like, yeah, you know what, I think I'm not, happy with our alliance anymore. I'm destroying your planet now. Hold on there, buddy. I have something to say about that. And that might actually be a decent fight. Like, he could repel Beerus from doing that.
Right, but then that ends up
Possibly.
we end up having a situation where, like, do you sacrifice expanding the universe further to show something like the King of All and more? Do you sacrifice that because you don't want it to be a situation where Goku can't get up to that person's level? Because showing King of All shows that, hey, listen, there is still a person who is stronger than you, Goku. Not just other people from other universes, but even then, how would you bring them together if there was no King of All? The thing is, it's befriending your enemies, and it's just him growing up as a kid. So, like, I feel like I don't know how long it'll take for him to not be a kid. How many thousands of years? I don't know how many thousands of years he was a kid.
Thing. Like with Zeno being a kid, I don't know that he's ever going to grow out of that. I don't know whether he's just, eternally a child.
No. I'm pretty sure
because
he's not because he had a dad.
Or they are a god. Really?
No, but didn't they mention his father at one point, or am I wrong? I thought they had mentioned his father, or I thought they had mentioned like, oh, he has a bit, or I guide the young master, or something like that, as I did his. Like I thought they had mentioned other. Like I'm pretty sure it's not just like yes.
Oh, okay.
It's just been
Possibly.
him. Yeah, I thought so. Maybe I'm wrong. But anyway, I'm just saying that like. Anyway, getting back to because I wanted to mention. I'm thinking. So, yes, because we've talked about I wanted to mention because we didn't really talk about how I'm not a big fan of this being so close to the other tournament. And the reason why I say that is because I just feel like, unless this is the last arc before they wrap things up, which does not look like that at all, by the way. Because some of you are wondering, well, why doesn't it look like that, Matt? Well, here's 3 reasons why. I'm going to give you 2 reasons why. One, all of the streaming sites, like Crunchyroll, Daisuke, Anime Lab, and I'm sure many more across the globe that are airing this show. And 2, Toonami. Now,
right.
I understand that the domestic market matters more than the foreign market. We're not the main providers of their cash. I get it. But I do feel as if the ratings can go a little bit lower. Like, okay, back during Dragon Ball GT days, right? If the ratings sucked, so in the mid-90s, if the ratings sucked, then you had no other form of income other than domestic. Yes, of course, at that time. Well, no. Yeah, at the time it came out, DBZ wasn't even big in America, or neither was Dragon Ball. So all you had was the domestic market. Maybe it was big in Portugal or in in other parts of the world, but even then, that money wasn't as big as like the entire world is at this point. Like giving Japan or giving Toei money to license their show and air it on television, stuff like that, right? So my take on it is, if GT didn't do well, it was like, we're canning this in 64 episodes.
Right.
If this, which I assume this is doing well. I haven't checked the actual Japanese ratings, and even if I did, I wouldn't know what a good rating is from a bad rating for Japan's market, to be fair. But what I am saying is that having a show like this, right, having a show like this, even if it's not doing as well in Japan as they would like, with the amount of money that they are getting for this show, I would argue that this is not the last arc, and it's going to be around for at least another good 2 years, if not longer. Right? Now, my point though is that like having this arc so close to the last tournament arc, it's just, even though they changed up the rules in a way that I'm a huge fan of, because I think that makes it a lot different than any other tournament arc we've seen before.
Yeah.
Other than the one we saw in BoJack Unbound. Because BoJack Unbound ended up having that like little mini battle royale thing at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, I still think that this is a very interesting take. But still, but it's still so close to the other one though that I'm like, we have had at least another fun story arc beforehand. Because yes, Future Trunks wasn't just like a few weeks, and there was also some filler involved in there as well. But I look at it, and it was only 19 episodes long. That's not even half a year. So literally, it was 19 episodes before this arc, and you're like, oh, God. Like that, that's a lot. Like, that's not a lot. You know, it's really short. And then now it's like, yes, we're going right back to the other Universal stuff. And I'm like, I feel like you guys could have done something, you know, something else. Because you kind of go from, hey, here's some new stuff, even though it's still, you know, a tournament. Some people are like, another tournament. But you're expanding everything. So it's, in my opinion, it's cool. So it's like you're doing a tournament. Fine. That's your first, like, new arc is a tournament. Then you jump into Future Trunks, and you're like, okay, this is a new arc, but it's still kind of retreading on stuff you remember from Dragon Ball Z. And then it's like, oh, hey, another tournament. And it's like, are you fucking serious? Yes, you're bringing Roshi and 17 into this, and Boo, which really piques my interest.
Yeah, and even Tien just coming back, too.
Right. Well, because for me, Tien was always a fighter, but I never thought we'd see 17 again because in my head, even though everyone was brought back, in my head he was still dead. I don't know why.
But he's a park ranger now, Matt.
They never mentioned him before.
Like, wow, I didn't think he was that much into wildlife, 18. Yeah, neither did I. And I'm his sister.
It makes sense, though, because, you know what makes sense, though? Because they were all traveling together, and they just wanted to kill the people. It's not like the Earth wanted to, it's not like they didn't like people. It's not like they were like, fuck these birds.
If 16 was any evidence of that.
Yeah. 16 was more into wildlife, but it's not like 17 hated it. He was just like a shitty teenager who was just like, let's kill everyone. Like, 17 definitely listened to My Chemical Romance. I'm just putting that out there.
It feels like even, like, in our timeline, the androids weren't even obsessed with killing beings. It was just the sense of, we're programmed to destroy Goku, and that's all we know right now. So, yeah, we're going to go do that. After that...
You're right. You're right. I mean, granted, after that would have probably been destruction of people on Earth. But still, I'll give you that. Our androids in the timeline that we watched do seem less malicious than the ones
Trunks' timeline. Fuck that. No, they were definitely out to destroy every living thing in the face of the fucking planet.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Still unsure if they would have killed animals, though. Not sure about that. But they definitely were about that human death. They were they were like, they're just our playthings. We're better than that. Anyway. But bringing back 17 was, definitely something that really piqued my interest. But still, even with some of those that I think are like, with the spoiling, I still think are like, oh man, that's crazy. But at the same time, despite the fact that I think that's cool, I do think that you could have had something else happen in between. And it makes me really wonder, why not? Like, why did you not have something else happen? What do you plan on after this? Do you plan on this jumping into another arc that's going to be even bigger and then have that be a finale? I don't know why I'm focusing on the idea of a finale. I feel like I shouldn't, because this is a long-running children's anime, so it would make sense if it goes on forever. Until it until the 200s or something, but we're already near the hundreds, and I'm starting to wonder. I'm starting to wonder, will they take a break and then will they come back? If there seems to be a demand, will they come back in at least another year with Dragon Ball Super Z or some other convoluted way to put Z in there and Super?
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like looking at Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, each had its own arcs, and it was only 3 to 4 arcs each. If maybe 5 if you want to stretch things, and at this point we've had 3 arcs. We're going into our 3rd now. I could see a 4th, maybe a 5th, but at that point.
No, this is technically our 5th arc. Well, because we had Battle of Gods, we had Resurrection of F, we had they count.
I know.
Sadly, they count. We had the 3rd arc being the actual first tournament arc. The 4th was Future Trunks, and then the 5th is this. So if you want to discount the other 2, yes, this is the 3rd arc. So maybe you're right. They'd add one more because the first 2 don't technically count. And then they'd wrap it up for this production. But it's still very strange to me because I think about it but that money, though.
Yeah.
And if anyone's wondering, like, because, I know there's some people out there that, aren't big fans of anime being licensed and, having it be exposed, the way it has been and stuff like that. And, because it's like, oh, these middlemen are making the money, not Toei. But please remember that Funimation pays a very large amount to Toei for the rights to put it on television. So, yes, technically Adult Swim, Toonami, Cartoon Network, whatever name you want to, give them, they do pay Funimation to air it. They don't pay Toei. They do pay Funimation. But Funimation, again, pays Toei a large sum. So, yes, they make money off of DVDs and stuff like that and other merchandise. But please remember, Toei is making money off of Dragon Ball Super for every single market it goes into. And it's airing globally right now. It was airing in other countries in English before it was airing here in English. We're in America. Like, that's where Tristan and I podcast from. So, yeah, it's very interesting to think about how much money they're getting. So it's like, would Toei cut off that money? And I don't think they would.
No. Right.
Unless
feels like
they really,
from a story perspective, like story-wise, it feels like unless they're going to really try and expand the other universes, like more than just bringing in a few fighters each time, or even like exploring their own universe, like kind of what they tried to do with GT, but not so poorly.
Yeah, not as obnoxious. Yeah. It would be very interesting because, like, I do sit back and I wonder, man, because the reason why I'm wondering so hard is because, yes, maybe before one that really is, like, the big end-all, but, like, you're right, though. You're like, oh, Dragon Ball was, like, it only had a few arcs, and it was only 100-some-odd episodes.
Right.
So you wonder, like, how long is this going to last? Because, yes, from a story perspective, it looks like this will either be the last one, or if it doesn't, or if it's, by the way, I want to mention something really funny. The second they were like, oh, it'll be 48 minutes for the tournament. And I was like, oh, so 30 episodes. That's cool. Because time-wise, one episode is 24 minutes. And even if you're like, well, Matt, cut out the opening and everything else. Fine then, 19 to 20. Your move.
Right.
Toei.
This planet has about 5 minutes left before it blows. This tournament's only going to last 48 hours or 48 minutes.
One track in the episode was about 5 minutes long.
Yeah.
One piece of the soundtrack was 5 minutes long. God damn it.
I would say that time for them and time for us are obviously two different things. But
when it comes to fighting, yes. When it comes to people having full-blown conversations, it infuriates me.
Yeah.
Because we've had this discussion. We have a discussion. Because I even have said that to you. There's a difference between blows for blow versus, are they going to make it? I don't know. Oh, man, look at that move. I can't even see them. Shut up, all of you. It's been longer than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Anyway. But back to what I was saying. Thematically it does feel like this is leading towards the end, but it just confuses me because it's like, what end and how will you return? Will you be taking a hiatus and then coming back just as Super? Because it'd be cool if you will, but I'm really, interested by it. And also remember, Toonami is not even up to episode 20 yet, to be fair, of Super. So obviously, even if they ended it at 100, they have a lot of weeks to go. They have literally 2 years on it. Nearly 2 years on it. Yeah. So I get it, right? Obviously, Funimation has enough time to dub, and then if Japan wants to take a break. But again, Japan isn't into taking breaks with long-running children's shows. Either the show, is a core show, which is going to be one core, which is 13 episodes, or 12 to 13, or two core, which is 25, 26,
right.
Or the show just keeps on going, and then when it ends, it's goodbye. You wait until we sucked the last drop out of you, and then the toys weren't selling anymore. See ya.
Yeah.
But Dragon Ball Z,
I'll make it,
or sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm really sorry. I'm really, really, really sorry. I just have to say. But Dragon Ball is just a different beast entirely.
It's not even that we want to say, like, oh, we want it to end. I'm not trying to say that at all, and I don't think you are either, Matt. But it's just from a story, like, it feels like from a story, like, money-wise, yeah, like, I don't understand, like, why it's such a cash cow. They would just, like, no, we're going to end it here, bye. It's like, but from a storyline, it's like, where, like, you guys have the potential to go and do stuff, like, a lot of stuff. I don't know if they'll do it or not. So
that's something that's something I can't even say that, like, oh, you're just hating on it and that's why you're, because I don't mean to do that to you for every point you have, but like I do agree with you with what they've done thus far in the show. From what you've seen them do, I just cannot see them jumping to another universe to fight their bad guys. It would be nice because they kind of technically teased it with Future Trunks of them traveling elsewhere to fight their baddies. But I don't see them jumping to, like, Universe 9 to be like, let's team up to fight the bad guys. I just don't see it happening. It would be nice because apparently, according to fucking Supreme Kai, nothing else exists in your world. Literally, well, that's kind of lonely. But from Goku,
right?
Well, yeah. Also, I'm a little confused. I would like to put something out there. So he said they lost Planet Namek, but they didn't?
New Namek?
I know, like, I mean, they never traveled to New Namek, but they put them on a different planet. I guess maybe, like, they all, like, became nice people, and just that's why that they... Like, if the planet kept on going normally, maybe it's like, no, they would have all been great fighters. But because, like, Frieza met them, they're all like, yeah, we're going to fucking farm now. That's it. You would think they'd try to become stronger fighters because of it, but I don't know. Oh, wait. Maybe, no, but, no, because the thing is, Frieza killed many villages, of Vegeta rather, so, like, they weren't brought back to life, but the ones that Frieza killed were, and Frieza killed some strong fighters, not just or not half-killed Nail, like, he killed some other fighters, so you would think they'd be brought back. I don't know. That's very interesting. Because, like, I don't know, maybe... And you know what sucks? Like, you sit there and you're like, that's a really bad error. I can't believe they did that. But then they brought back, or at least the name, they brought back, what's his name? Ma something, the one that fought with Goku.
Oh, God, right. That was the other moment. Monaka.
Monaka, thank you.
Yeah,
that was a
fucking
beautiful callback.
Spitting his food out, like, oh, we should get Monaka. Beerus is like, no, he's sick. Oh, that sucks. But, like, no, we could really use his help. It's like, well, Dad, he's ill. Like, he can't help it if he's sick. He's like, I guess you're right. Whis just fucking looks at him like, maybe you should tell him the truth, Lord Beerus. It's like, Whis, shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear it from you right now, Mr. I'm exempt from destruction, which is what I'm god of.
You know who they're going to bring, like, next arc, and who's going to become furious because he didn't know any of this was happening? Jacko.
Oh, my God.
He's literally part of the force. He's part of the police force.
I mean,
I don't not know any of this is happening.
I get the feeling he wouldn't want to be part of the tournament. I feel like he'd be kind of reluctant. Like,
no,
well, I mean,
but he's still part of it. How funny is that?
Yeah.
No, it's just no. He doesn't want to be part of it, but just the fact that he doesn't even know. He's just like that happened.
Right.
How did you not tell me?
I would laugh, and Jacko would probably be like, you know what? It's probably best that I didn't know, and that I'm going to pretend that you didn't tell me about that because we're still here. So I'm going to pretend you're lying and making a horrible joke out of this to me.
Yeah, we felt that way about telling the androids. There's androids here.
Oh.
He also cares about that under Galactic Federation law number.
This is a heinous crime. It's like, well, tell that to Dr. Gero. Oh, all right, fine. I'll arrest him. Where is he? Well, he's dead. Oh, whoa.
Justice has been served.
All right.
Anyway,
yeah. Guess that clears that up then.
Yeah. Anyway, so we're gonna have to wrap up the show here because I don't know how anything else we can complain or expand or say we liked. I just want to put it out there, as you said earlier. just because we think that the show is doing poorly in terms of some of the storyline choices, in no way are we trying to say GT was better, nor are we trying to say that this show is shit at all.
Yeah.
We just think that the nostalgia wave is kind of worn off, and in a way they have executed some things a bit poorly, where, like, if they had started it off stronger and then went into Battle of Gods and Resurrection of F, I think it would have been okay. But because they started off there, and then it's like, only new thing other than some filler is a tournament, right?
Yeah.
Even though it wasn't a terrible tournament, it was still, like, a little bit jarring, you know?
And I mean,
and
for
I don't
me,
think,
like, even the other characters, like, I love what they've done with the rest of the cast, like, in peacetime. Like, I've really, I love what they're doing with Krillin. I love what they're doing with Vegeta. Shit, I even love what they're doing with Gohan. Like,
yeah.
But
you know what it is too? I think it's just like, you know what I think it is too, by the way? I think it's just, I don't mean to say like, oh, the younger kids. Like, I don't mean to do this to like the younger generation. But like, I think because of the fact that we grew up with DBZ, now that we're a little bit older, you've kind of grown up with Gohan, and because you really identify with Gohan, especially when you were a kid, now you've just like, you're like, yeah, I like what they're doing with Gohan because he's, like he's settling down like you would. Or you kind of are in your, like, in different ways, mind you. You're settling down. Like, you see it in that way, where, like, any of the younger fans are just more like, no, this is terrible. Like, I feel like if you had seen this at 15, you'd have been like, this is shit because of what they're doing to Gohan.
I guess. I mean, if I was just jumping into it now when I'm younger, yeah.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Like, if I was jumping into this, if I was younger, just jumping into this now, yes, I might feel that way.
That's what I'm saying, because, like, because I think of, like, some of my students who are fans of Dragon Ball Z, or who are fans of Dragon Ball in general, and if you were marathoning this, or maybe they saw it when they were younger, maybe because of family member or whatever, but if they're marathoning this with Dragon Ball and then Z and then Super, yeah, I can see why them being like, oh, but he's not a fighter and yada yada and all this stuff. And, oh, great, he's fighting again, that's perfect. But then you, of course, growing up with him, you're like, no, he was having some time away from this. He was having peace, and now he has to fight again.
And I mean, I'm not even like, I like the fact that he's being in the fold again, like he's going to fight again.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's just under the circumstances. It's not.
Yeah.
Like, you know why.
I know.
I just wish it kind of echoed.
Yeah.
I wish it echoed more of Z in a sense of, no, there's a threat that we have to address. It's like, even 18 was like, why are you so high-strung about this tournament if it's just supposed to be, for fun? It's like,
no, but
we really shouldn't tell them about.
It's just not the threat you want.
Right. It's just not. It's very odd how they've constructed the threat. It's not a conventional threat. And granted, you could say, like, oh, they're trying to do something different. And I'm like, all right, like, yeah, okay, fair enough. They're trying to do something different, and that's fine. Like, the show can go in a different direction with something that I might not necessarily like. That doesn't make it bad. But it's like, of all the times that it was the outside threat coming in, like, we all loved it when it was like that. I'm not saying stick to the formula, but I guess in a way I am.
You just like it to be more direct rather than a concept.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I'm not going to try to be like, well, you're just uncouth, because it's not like them not sticking to the formula has made other people happy. It seems like a general consensus that people aren't necessarily that hyped with Super. Some people aren't. Like, any of the backlash I hear is because it isn't sticking to the formula. So, again, it's not like it's just you, if that makes you feel any better.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, let's kind of wrap things up here, because there's not really much else I think we can talk about these 8 episodes. I feel like we've gone for 2 hours on these. There's really not much else we can do. I think we're good. We're good. And next time you guys will hear us, we'll be talking for a shorter amount of time on at least 4 episodes. So, yeah. I really am interested, though, for where this series is going. Very interested. I have to say that much, at least. Like, that's the one thing I'll give them in a good way. Like, despite the fact that I'm not interested in this build-up because, again, it's been spoiled by them during the show. But I become a Dalek every single time during the show. But anyway, despite that fact, right, I am intrigued because I do want to know how long because they still turned it into a 10-person per universe battle royale ring out. So even though the joke is, it'll go for like 50 episodes, and it has a time limit. So, are they really going to focus on one fight every single episode when there's 9, when there's 9 other participants from every single world, every single universe there? That'll be really stupid. I'm sorry to say that. They can't take one episode per fight if they're going to have to jump between everything. And even then, how can it be a full-on fight if there's 10 people from every universe or from nearly every universe in this ring? Despite the fact that it's a large ring, still, I cannot imagine them, doing a large fight for one, a 1 to 2 episode fight while there's other ones going on in the background. I just can't. Or them panning into one fight and then nothing else matters. That would be the worst decision ever. They can't do that. So I am intrigued to see how they're going to make every fight look camera-wise.
Yeah.
And how long it really is going to take. And then after that, what are they really going to do? So that will take, a little bit longer. So, again, I am actually interested, and I know you are as well, despite our complaints. Yeah.
Yeah, I am interested in how they're going to handle the tournament. And I feel like there would be moments where they're going to pan in and out of different fights, but it'll be I feel like everyone's going to be split up in a sense. They'll all be, it'll be a few of them, 3 of them, say Krillin and the androids against, a few of these other guys, and they might focus on them for a bit, but they'll hop around between, different groups of a few people fighting together in different ways.
Exactly. I feel the same way. So anyway, I want to thank you all for listening in, as always, to our very long Dragon Ball Super rant. Thank you all. This is, a lot of fun. I'm happy that you're here with us. And I think it's also because we haven't talked about it in a while. So there's just so much to pack into these 8 episodes, because there really was. Despite the fact that I was it's slow. Still, there was a lot to pack into this episode, these 8 episodes, and the future for what else might happen. So again, thank you all. Check out our YouTube channels. Those guys play for our Let's Plays. I mean, we've even played some Dragon Ball Z games. I mentioned Infinite World before. We're also playing Dragon Ball Z Budokai, the original for the PS2. So definitely check those out. They're a lot of fun. You can also check out Those Guys on the Radio YouTube channel as well. We have our backlogged podcasts on there. You're listening to one of our podcasts right now, so I assume you're listening potentially through our Blog Talk Radio account, which is / Those Guys on the Radio, or maybe through our iTunes account, which you just search up Those Guys, and then you can subscribe to us there and get updates on all of our podcasts that we do. There's a lot you can do. You can also get some of our merchandise over at our Those Guys on the Radio, tumblr.com /merchandise page, or our tgproduction.net /merchandise page, or at our Those Guys, our eBay channel, which is /Those Guys Radio. And I just want to thank you guys for listening in yet again. I know I keep on doing that. I do that every episode. But, really, a lot of you guys listen in, and it makes me really happy to see that you guys are sitting there going, even if you're sitting there going, this is stupid. Well, thank you for listening to it. Regardless, right? Thank you for having an opinion on us. And email us over at thoseguysontheradio@gmail.com, just to drop any comments, anything like that. If you want to make any show suggestions, you can, but if you want them to be definite, no, you're going to do this whether you like it or not, go over to our Patreon, which is TG Productions, and you can actually donate to us there, and you can actually suggest, pretty much demand in a way, certain show ideas for our podcast and our Let's Plays. And you can basically, and that doesn't have to just be do this episode of Dragon Ball Super or Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball GT or Dragon Ball. It doesn't have to be that. It could actually be, hey, what are your top 5 Dragon Ball Z movies, right? You can't say top 5 Dragon Ball because there's only 3. But you feel what are your top 5 Dragon Ball Z movies? Or just general, top 5 movies out of the entire series, right? So, or what are your top 5 Dragon Ball Z songs, right? something like that. Like, do you like the dub or the sub better? Discuss. So it can be concepts as well. It can also be the same thing. For video games, when it comes to the Let's Plays, you can actually mix and match with different hosts. So it doesn't have to be me and Tristan. It could be Tristan and Anthony Toto, who I've done Animal Crossing with. I've done Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door with, and of course we have some more games with him and I on the way. So it can be anything, right? It can be anything like that. So it'll be very, it's very interesting, right? Like what you can do with that. Also, depending on what tier you donate to, you can actually you can be a sponsor on the show. So depending on if it's either podcasts or Let's Plays, we'll put you in every month and we'll say, hey, so we're being sponsored by so-and-so. So we can give you guys a nice little shout out there. And of course, donating to our Patreon not only helps us just do our thing, but it just helps us keep the Blog Talk Radio running, and also helps us potentially get capture cards and other hardware that can bring even more Let's Plays to you if you're into the Let's Plays. And speaking of the Let's Plays, this month, right, doing this for the month of April, like this podcast is coming out this week, which is in April, we have Those Guys Play Season 3 coming back from hiatus. We also have back-to-back episodes of Matt Beats Games from his childhood every single week. Usually the format is 3 to 4 episodes of different games. Currently I'm playing Yoshi's Island, I'm playing Link to the Past, and I'm playing Crash Bandicoot 2, also sometimes some Fatal Frame mixed in. But for right now, basically every single week, we're getting only 2 in a row. However, the 2 will be like, Yoshi's Island twice, or like Crash Bandicoot 2 twice. So instead of it being the format, which is literally like 1 per week, it'll be 2 back-to-back. So that'll be a lot of fun, because it also leaves a lot of room for some other stuff that we've been working on. And, yeah, so again, thank you all. Love you guys. And say goodnight, Tristan.
Good night, everybody.
And may the Dragon Ball Z be with you? I don't know. You say may the Force be with you every time we do a Star Wars Wednesday episode.
Star Wars. There isn't a saying that I can say for Dragon Ball. Learn to dance atop a ball. Dinosaurs. Chala had chala.
Are you just saying all that?
Beerus, you can blow it all up now. Just
I'll see myself out.